All right, this is Dr. T, and welcome to Week 1 of English 122 at Ashford University. In Week 1, you have several assignments. First of all, make sure that you post your introduction. You will need to respond to at least 3 of your classmates' introductions. Our second discussion topic that you'll be doing this week will be to read the material on classic and Rogerian arguments. You need to define the term argument in your own words, and then you need to describe your own style of argument. Next, you're going to compare and contrast your style of argument with at least one additional argumentative strategy and or rhetorical ploy. You'll need to look at this week's readings and materials to help you understand the idea of argumentation and rhetorical strategies or ploys. Will your current style of argument be effective in an academic setting? And I can tell you already that the answer to that should probably be no. Which strategy would be most effective and relevant for this class? Now, as in all of your major discussions in this course, your initial post has to be at least 200 words in length. And I do count words, so make sure that your posts are at least 200 words in length. Also, your responses to your classmates, and you need to respond to at least 2 of your classmates, those responses need to be at least 125 words. And once again, I do count, so make sure that you respond to your colleagues in a substantive way. Just saying good post or nice job on the post or any sort of one-liner, that's not what Ashford regards as substance. You need to provide detailed and substantive responses to your classmates, and this is part of our writing practice. Now, on discussion 2, you'll be looking at just one of the 30 approved writing prompts for your final research paper from the research paper guidelines document. So you're just picking one topic, and the whole purpose of this course is to write a research paper. Everything that we do in this class is geared towards writing a single research paper. All of the topics, the possible topics that we're given to choose from, are on this research paper guidelines document. So for your possible topics, check there. This is where you need to get the topics from. Also, this research paper that you're going to be writing this term is going to be a persuasive argument. Try to persuade the audience, you're going to try to persuade your readers to your point of view. And the first step to doing that is to create a well-written thesis statement. In any paper that you write, the thesis statement should probably be the last sentence of the opening paragraph of your paper. And in a persuasive paper like this, you're going to be trying to convince your audience of a certain point of view. For example, do you think gay couples should be allowed to marry? Do you think abortion should be legal? Do you think cloning human beings should be permissible? These are the sort of controversial topics that one might write a persuasive paper about. Now think about your chosen writing prompt, the available research, and the definition of argument as you prepare a working thesis statement. Also, look at the thesis statement and topic sentences presented in the Who Stole the American Dream article. Also, you'll need to watch the Ashford University Library video entitled Quick and Dirty, and develop a list of 10 to 20 keywords that you can look for when you're searching for material to support your point of view in your research project. Ultimately, in this discussion board, you'll be sharing your 1 or 2 sentence thesis statement and your keyword list with the class. That's what you'll be producing in this discussion. Also, you need to provide a critique of your thesis using the thesis checklist document and the Ashford Writing Center resources to guide your evaluation. So make sure that you have a look at that thesis checklist document. Does your thesis statement address your topic clearly and specifically? Does your thesis statement articulate a persuasive argument, position, or claim? Does your thesis statement include a premise or premises? Is your thesis statement logical and reasonable? Is your thesis statement not a false or faulty premise? And is it free from rhetorical fallacies? Or does your thesis statement account for and anticipate potential counter-arguments? Especially if you choose to write about a controversial topic like, say, gay marriage or abortion or surrogate birth, your thesis statement needs to contain some acknowledgement of the other side of the issue. So you have to account for or anticipate potential counter-arguments. You have to get into your opponent's head. You have to think, okay, what will my opponent think? What is their point of view going to be? You have to take other people's points of view into account. This is critical in business. When you go into business meetings and you want to argue one point of view and somebody else in the room is going to argue something else, you have to anticipate that. You have to know what the other side is going to argue. So writing this sort of paper is extremely critical, in my experience, for practicing what you're going to encounter in business. You've got to see every side of the issue, and your thesis statement has to tell us something about that. Your thesis statement has got to anticipate potential counter-argument. As with all of the discussion board posts, the initial post has to be at least 200 words, and your responses to your classmates have to be at least 125 words. Please make sure to respond to your classmates by name when you respond to them. Then the assignment for this week is to create an annotated bibliography. So this is going to provide the foundation for the research paper that you're going to write this term. As I said before, everything that you do in this class is geared towards creating a research paper. And this is the starting point, creating an annotated bibliography. So what you need to do is you need to search for articles in the Ashford University Library that you think might help you, might provide information for you in writing your paper. You need to find at least 5 scholarly, peer-reviewed sources from your library search. And when you go to the Ashford University Library webpage, there's a box that you can check that will specifically search for peer-reviewed sources. Peer-reviewed sources are more likely to provide accurate and scholarly information, as opposed to junk like Wikipedia. You should never use Wikipedia in research. You need to use the Ashford University Library, and you need to search for scholarly peer-reviewed sources. Pretend you're a lawyer and you're calling witnesses to the stand. Lawyers call expert witnesses to the stand. They don't call some slack-jawed yokel who writes a Wikipedia article to the stand. So you need to find at least 5 scholarly peer-reviewed sources from your library search, and you're going to create a citation in APA format for those sources, and then you're going to write a little 2-paragraph summary of what that article or source says. Ashford has tons of examples of how APA references should look, and so you should check there. There are plenty of examples about what they should look like. And you need to format them exactly the way that they look in these examples. Last name of the author first, first initial next, last name first, first initial, then the year of publication. If you don't have an author's name, then the title of the article, year of publication. Note where they put the periods, period after the initial, period after the date of publication. And so note things that are italicized. Book titles, for example, are in italics. Article titles, however, are not italicized or put in quotation marks. Also, notice this sort of zigzag margin here. Guthrie, and then the next line is indented. Kulbis, then the next line is indented. Mawson, then the next line is indented. Your references page needs to have similar sort of indentations. It needs to have this sort of sawtooth looking left side to the page. And underneath those citations, this is where you're going to write your paragraphs. So you'll have a citation, and then underneath that you'll have 2 paragraphs summarizing what that book or article is about. Right? So please make sure that you follow the directions carefully on this. And make sure that you use the information from this week's argument and thesis workshop discussion and refer to the research paper guidelines for additional support. Ultimately, when you complete this assignment, you're going to have a title page that's formatted in proper APA style. There are examples here. If you'll follow this link, sample APA title page, make sure that you do everything exactly the way that it's done on that title page. Everything has to be in Times New Roman 12-point font. Everything has to be double-spaced. You'll have your pages that contain the APA-style references. Make sure that they're in alphabetical order. The references list has to be in alphabetical order. And after that, the document has to have 1-inch margins all around. And every line in this document has to be double-spaced. Set your spacing in your Word document to double spacing. So you can do that by going to the line and paragraph spacing and clicking on 2.0. That's double spacing. You'll have a title page. That'll be page 1. Then pages 2, 3, and 4 will be your sources plus the paragraph summaries of those sources. And then once you submit the document to Waypoint, then you'll need to submit it with a title like this. Last name, your last name, then underscore W2 underscore A1 doc. Also, make sure that you check out the grading rubric for the assignment so that you can understand how the assignment is going to be graded. And this assignment contains a total of 6 possible points. And so development is part of it. That's 1.8 points. Style is 1.5 out of the 6 points. Grammar, you've got to use proper grammar. This is an English course. APA formatting, this is more than 1/4 of the points for this assignment. So make sure that you do this APA formatting properly. This is a big deal on this assignment. If you don't do the APA formatting correctly, then your grade's not going to be very good. Make sure that you follow the examples provided by Ashford. They've got a lot of good material to look at, and you need to follow those models to a T. I hope some of this helps. Good luck with this week's assignment, and please let me know if I can help you in any way. Best wishes.